This is the Taylor 552 CE 12 fret 12 string guitar. This is not an ASMR video. My toddler's just fallen asleep and I don't awake him. Just kidding. We'll do regular for everybody who just already exited out of the video. It's probably not a great start, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. Today, we've got a super cool guitar. This is a Taylor 552 CE 12 fret 12 string guitar. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, is 12 strings, fairly self-explanatory. There's 12 strings instead of 6. It's got kind of a flanger type sound. I don't know. I'll show you. Don't worry, I will show you. I'll play it and you guys can decide what it sounds like. Also, this one's 12th fret, which means the body meets the neck at the 12th fret. It still has the cutaway, so you still have access to these frets in case you want to do some 12 string shredding or whatever. But the 12, getting up to the 12th fret gives it a little deeper sound, a little more space inside to resonate or something. I know, it's noteworthy though. And one thing about this guitar, so this is a torrified Sitka spruce top. It's very beautiful. I think it is. I mean, I guess that's subjective, but I think it's beautiful. What's not subjective is the back and sides are made of Urban Ironbark, and they are beautiful. Okay, this is not a subjective call. This is objective. This is objectively a gorgeous guitar. And what you're probably thinking, if you're anything like me, is what is Urban Ironbark? That sounds like a made-up thing. And I agree. I also think it sounds made up, and I'm not entirely sure it's not made up. But apparently it's a real tree that Taylor made up in Southern California, some sort of urban save the planet initiative. It's all very good. It's supposed to have the density of rosewood, the tonal qualities of rosewood and the density of like ebony, whatever that means. Anyway, it's beautiful. It is really, I think it's just gorgeous. I know I already showed you this. This is a waste of time. The reflection, you can see all of our different things in our house. Anyway. I mentioned this in my last video. It's the one where I'm wearing the same shirt and hat and pants. But the reason I'm in the barn the reason I'm in my house instead of the barn is because a couple of my videos, I recorded them and then there's no Wi-Fi in the barn. And somehow between the little mic that I've got and my phone, it just like erased them. And so that was like 15 minutes of my life and like all the time setting up. And I just didn't. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to record it inside. Plus, a few minutes ago, my toddler was not sleeping. He is currently sleeping, just in the other room over there. So that's great. So I'm not going to play super loud, but I'm going to play loud enough because he's got a sound machine and you guys don't care about the other side of the mic. You might not even care about this or the other side of the video. You might not care about this side of the video either, but you for sure don't care about that side. So I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. Might not have done anything. He seemed a little cockeyed. Anyway, so this is a really cool guitar. I'm going to play it for you. I typically don't like 12 strings. They give me anxiety because there's so many, they're so close together. If I could have a 12 string that was like this far apart for tuning purposes, I would be fine with it. But it's like, you know, it's very hard to get them all in tune. So this is by far my favorite 12 string I've ever had. I've had a few different 12 strings. Reason one is Taylor's by and large tend to stay in tune, so you're not constantly having to adjust the tuning, which is just a pain in the neck. And number two, I love the look. I love the Urban Ironbark, whatever kind of made up tree that is. It looks gorgeous. Sounds really good too. And I also like how most 12 strings, they have 12 different deals here. On these, there's only 6 bridge pens, not in pens, bridge pens. There's only 6 bridge pens instead of normal 12. So they do 2 on each string has just the one. You know, there's 2 strings per bridge pen, which you could immediately figure out as soon as I said there's only 6 of them, but I went ahead and talked about it for 30 seconds anyway. Anyway, I like that. I like the look. See, I wish there was a way. I'm not a huge fan of this look, monstrous headstock, but obviously it would be very difficult to actually tune a guitar and only have 6 of those on a 12 string. So anyway, that's fine. I love the feel of it. The neck plays great up and down. It's easy to play. It's not like cumbersome. It's not overly wide and chunky. It plays great. So I'm going to play some tunes here. and you guys can decide if you think it sounds like a flanger or what, or if it sounds good. Anyway, Taylor 552 CE, Urban Ironbark, Sitka spruce, torrified Sitka spruce top. Okay, here we go. Like right off the bat, I think that sounds like a choir singing. Maybe that's what it's supposed to sound like. It sounds beautiful. It's just like, it's like this angelic type sound. And keep playing. Forget about me. Do some open, like 5 chords in case you want to play it in church. Yeah. So that is a 12-string guitar. If you've never heard one of those, it's a 12-fret 12-string guitar. It's a Taylor Urban Ironbark, made up back and sides. Apparently a real tree. 12-string, 12-fret guitar. It's also got the ES2 system in it, so you can plug it in. You're good to go. Plug in, plug and play. The only thing wrong with this guitar, as far as I know, is it's missing one of the G strings, the little tiny G string. It's got the like bassy G string, but not the other one. So really it's an 11-string guitar. You still haven't heard a 12-string guitar if this is your introduction to 12-string guitars, but you have heard an 11-string guitar. So anyway, once you, or I, whoever, gets a new string on it, then it will officially be a 12-string guitar. But that's the only thing wrong with it. I got this, I believe it was a return or a floor model or something. I got a discount on it, and I'm passing the savings on to you. I'm basically trying to just sell it for what I paid for it, because I wanted to try it. It is an awesome guitar. Not a huge fan of 12 strings, which is not a great sales pitch. I understand that, but that's just my personal preference. Your personal preference might be that you are a huge fan of 12 strings, and I will say this is my favorite 12 string that I've ever had. If this was a 6-string with this back and sides, I'd be keeping it for sure. I would not sell it. I mean, I might sell it because that's what I do. I buy and sell guitars, but I wouldn't want to sell it. This one I do want to sell because I'm not in love with 12-string guitars, but it is cool sounding, right? It's got a really neat sound to it, I think. So trying to think if there's any other songs I wanted to play on it. I always think of things afterward. I'm like, oh, I should have played that one. I try to play kind of the same stuff on my videos so that people can compare guitars if they want to. You know, if you ever happen to be going between two guitars that I randomly had on my channel, I don't know. It just seems like a good thing to do, kind of keep it similar, consistent. So if you want to pretend there's hay in the background, just for consistency's sake, maybe you could do that. But you can also just pretend like it's a messy kitchen / dining room. Anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. And if you have any questions about it, let me know. This is pretty gorgeous. I think it's just great. With the ES2 system, one thing I will say, a lot of people dog on it. They're like, yeah, those the Taylor pickups aren't very good. The ES1 system was trash. It was awful. That's what my Taylor 412 had in it. I sent it back to the factory just actually a couple months ago. I've had it for like 20 years and got the ES2 system in it. I played a bunch of them with the ES2 systems. They're actually pretty good. I almost always just cut the treble all the way out. I take the treble out, bump up the bass a little bit, and then they sound pretty good plugged in. If you really like that kind of chimey, bell-like high sound, maybe just leave it how it is. I've just noticed for my own personal preference, I don't love that sound as much, so if I am plugging the Taylor system in, I usually cut the treble. May or may not for this particular guitar. That's kind of a blanket statement for Taylor guitars. If you really like Taylor guitars, but you don't like their pickup system, I found pretty good success doing that. So anyway, hopefully I stayed kind of on topic. Hope you like this guitar. You can buy this guitar if you want. These are normally $3,500. I'm trying to sell mine. I'm almost embarrassed to say I think I'm selling it for like $2,300 or $2,200, which I actually had a guy comment on like one of my posts, and he was like, basically he thought it might be a scam because it was priced so low, which I'm not saying that just so that you're like, hey, that is a great price. It legitimately is a pretty good price considering I cannot find anything wrong with the guitar, but it's kind of a hard time for selling guitars right now. People just aren't buying. So, and the thing is, I really should price it higher because most of the time I sell a guitar, the people who buy them are like, I've been looking for this exact guitar. I would have paid anything. And I'm like, damn it. Because I've got it priced super low because I thought maybe I could entice someone to buy it. And it's very rarely that someone's just like, yeah, I wasn't going to buy it, but this is priced so well, I thought I'd throw down some change and get it. You know, it's almost always, so I just need to be more patient. This isn't for you. This is for me. This is for me to internalize to myself. I need to be more patient and just leave my guitars at a higher price. But if they don't sell in like 3 days, I'm like, oh, you know what? Cut the price. Just cut it down to nothing. So this one, I think I paid $2,200 for it. And I'm just trying to get my money back out of it. Not because it's not a great guitar, but because I tried it, I liked it. I got to make this video, which is part of the deal. And I don't know. So as long as I more or less break even, I'm happy. You're welcome to create a bidding war and pay way more than I'm asking. That would, you know, I don't mind if you don't mind, so that's fine. But if you only want to pay like around $2,300, you can do that, and I'll ship it to wherever. You probably have to pay for shipping though at that price, but it'll be worth it. It's a really great guitar, and you can just buy one more string if you want a 12 string, or you could just keep it as an 11 string because I think it sounds pretty good. Anyway, thank you guys for watching.